What's going on out there? Justice Severin here, back again, and we are today discussing not only how to build a lucrative brand, but how you can deploy it into your own business in order to generate more consistent sales and build a tribe of followers that is so strong it's going to allow you to now create follow-up sales from leads from months ago, if not years plus. All right, it's gonna be a major one. It's a live stream we did straight out of our original chapters marketing group over on Facebook, and if you haven't already, make sure to click that subscribe button down below so we can get you locked in for all the future content we have here. But for right now, let's get to it. Like I mentioned at first and foremost, I want to dive right into the hidden gems. All right, when it comes to building a personal brand, a lot of the times it's one of those things where I feel like maybe, and this, I say a personal brand, this could be for a personal brand, this could be for a business brand, right? Just an overall business brand. It doesn't have to be like just strictly on one person, but I do think there's some added bonuses if you can get yourself present and involved, even if it is for a core business. Putting a face to the business, right? Putting someone that people can gravitate to, a story, right? So that's why I just want to even preface this with whatever, however you want to word it there. But right at the end of the day, I want to share with you some hidden gems here, just to get you rolling, to get you seeing the benefits, and hopefully get you to overcome some of that fear and start to really dive deep. Because if you don't, you're missing out. You're missing out right here, right? So I can see you guys ready to go. So let's go and get to it, straight to the point. Number one. When it comes down to making a lucrative brand here, right? This is what we're all about talking, especially on the personal brand side. Reason I want you to lean into this, because once again, we're gonna get into ways you can execute this and get into more specifics around results around it. But one of the biggest pieces is no one can duplicate it. No one can replicate it. There is no other you. So by doubling down on you, it is going to set you apart from the industry and allow you to create your own lane, right? And one thing too I want to speak on quickly with this is, at the end of the day, a lot of people I hear, I've had clients and even non-clients come to me and say, imposter syndrome's a struggle. Like I really have a tough time getting myself out there and not, right? Like, I'm not sure if anyone else can relate to that. Feel free, it's an open space. You can feel free to be safe. Let me know if that's something that you guys can relate to. But if that's the case when you're feeling, I want to say this: if you stay consistent with just showing up and being yourself, no one can duplicate that. And at the same time, your imposter syndrome, it really should just be shed at that point. Because if you stay being yourself, or as much as possible, at the end of the day, if I was to show you, I would show you my screen, my bookshelf over here. I've got books on this bookshelf. It's like, at the end of the day, my knowledge, I've been in multiple masterminds, had plenty of mentors, read I can't even talk, read plenty of books. And at the end of the day, it all comes out through me, right? It all comes out through me, and no one can duplicate that part. The way that I see it, the way that I soak in that information and let it out, it can't be duplicated if I keep that up over the long run. So the reason I'm bringing this up here, because it's a hidden gem that is going to set you apart from literally everyone else. There's not much in this industry and business period that allows you to do that, right? So really, I want you to keep that in mind. It allows you to not be duplicated. There's no replication. Number two with that is it gives you your edge. Like, literally, number one gives you your edge. It's your secret weapon if you allow it to be. There is no other Justice Severin, and I don't mean there may be someone else with that name, which I also would be surprised. But either way, there is no other Justice Severin as far as the avatar goes, as far as what I give off to the world and what my business is putting out there. Even if there were 100 other Justice Severins, right? My name you might be thinking, no, your name's just more popular than mine, so maybe there are more of you. That's not the point, right? Your edge, this is your secret weapon here to truly standing out from the crowd, right? And really allow you to gravitate, which leads right to the next point, is this magnetic effect. There's a magnetic effect you're going to be able to create when you really stand out there and put yourself out there over and over like I'm talking about. It's going to just naturally bring you closer, bring the right ideal culture fits. The right culture fits. Like, I want to make sure you're hearing this will generate towards you. The reason I say culture fits is because a lot of the times you can generate some clients and customers, but there's some times when you just generate some real stinkers. Like, I could use I could use a worse word there, but I'm just gonna leave it a little PG for us right now. You could attract some real stinkers on that side, And that's why I really want you to keep in mind, when you have this with a personal brand, you're going to attract the right people, right? This can cause folks to really gravitate towards you because of who you are. And really, we're going to talk about how that can impact your sales down the line too. But really, like I said, don't think about it just for the clients even, right? This can, of course, bring your ideal clients to you. But really, even beyond that, as you start to grow your business, you're going to bring on different team members, right? And I'm telling you right now, my team members and we have a great culture fit because they gravitated towards me. And likewise, honestly, it's like, and I truly want you to think about that, how that can really impact your business, not just today, but years from today. I've had clients turn into people who now work for me, right? It's like, you really want to make sure that you really get yourself out there, because it's going to attract the right people, and you don't know what kind of opportunities that can create for you down the line. I've mentioned this before. So many people are thinking short term, and I really want you to start thinking long term about it. If you start to plug into this, and I mean plugging into this like today or yesterday even, right? How much it can help you, right? How much it can truly help you. So many times I've literally mentioned to my clients and others where I feel blessed with the people who are even inside of my mastermind. It's just like, feels like it's naturally the right people, right? And it's like, it's almost like if it's not the right person, they just end up getting spit out type of deal. Same thing when it comes to the team that we've been able to build. It's like, when you really start to put this out there, you're attracting the right people, and whenever something just doesn't fit, it just ends up not staying long term. All right, we're building this for the long term, and that's why I want you to really start dialing into this here. Comment magnet if you guys are feeling me on the magnetic effect there. Comment magnet down below. I want to make sure you guys are really following me on these first three right here. I'm telling you, we're just getting cooked up right now, so follow along. We're about to really get into some more good stuff here. Like I mentioned, this really can create the perfect mindset. And what do I mean by that? Like how having the right personal branding, which is really just being authentically you, this creates the perfect mindset, because how your mindset ties to your brand is everything, right? When you're fully in line with yourself, and that is really tied to your brand beautifully, everything starts to click that much more, right? Everything starts to click that much more. So many times, I'm telling you right now, people are self-sabotaging because the way that they're going out there, their mindset's already broken. And their mindset could be broken for multiple reasons, but maybe it's just because the lack of belief in what they're doing, right? A lot of times, especially when I was an affiliate, I preach this to affiliates heavily. And I'm still technically an affiliate, but when I was solely an affiliate, this was huge. It's like, you have to promote something you believe in. And it goes with the same idea, because if you don't believe in it, you're going to go ahead and get in a sales conversation and literally self-sabotage. Right? I was talking to someone about the ad side and how people will literally go ahead, spend money on ads, and then when it comes down to the conversations actually generating leads, they're sabotaging, because it could be for multiple reasons. One of them is mindset. Another could be, at the end of the day, they're afraid of what could come next. They know the potential. Once again, whether you're scaling with or without ads, they understand the potential that can happen if they truly dial it in, and that scares the crap out of them, right? And it should be scary to a certain degree, but at the end of the day, you gotta get comfortable with being uncomfortable here, right? You gotta live in that fear, live in that fear in a good way. Like, I don't mean to scare you, but I mean to scare you in a better position, scare you into a better position there, right? So really, like, I'm just bringing you a couple of different situations and scenarios so you can truly picture how, when you're so in sync with your personal brand and you're being authentic, it's going to be so big for you to create that perfect mindset and just eliminate that one extra piece that's slowing you down, right? Because like I said, when you really start to, in the beginning, you may feel that imposter syndrome, but if you stay with it there and you truly stay and develop who you are and what makes you you, at the end of and really a lot of this comes back to really like asking somebody, for myself, I've asked friends, I've asked my wife, it's like, just ask people what they see as like characteristics of you. And honestly, like, double down on that stuff, honestly, right? Because really, when you do this, it allows you to not only double down on who you are, it allows you to double down on your ideal avatar, right? It's going to really give you that clarity on your market there, really, because at the end of the day, it's going to allow you to really lean in to the people you'd want to work with and start skipping over the nonsense that you don't. And like I said, it starts attracting those right culture fits inside of your business there. As far as monetary goes, as far as non-monetary, as far as your team, it's just like, there are so many different avenues where when you really get this stuff right, you start doubling down on it as far as your personal brand, you see it start to tie back right here as far as your ideal avatar goes. I'm telling you, like this, like I said, this has really led me to be surrounded by the right people, if you ask me. And it's almost like I wake up and I'm like, how did this happen? But I'm telling you, it's because I've been building this personal brand for almost like 3 years now in reality. And I say almost 3 years in this space. I've had practice even before, honestly, when I was doing music. If you guys could see, I got guitars around the room all over the place. I was big into music, but it's like, just working on being your authentic self there. It's so big there too. And it's like, in reality, I'm gonna tell you this right now. You guys saw me pop this up maybe briefly for a sec. It's the you win, right? If they believe in you, let me take that back one step further. If they believe in your product, that's already a huge piece. Like if they believe in your product, they believe in your process, that's already huge, right? But now add on to that, if they believe in you as well, it's a freaking wrap at that point. I'm telling you. So this is where it's, once again, like, one thing you guys have hopefully heard me say, if you're new, maybe you haven't, I say it all the time. You're never going to have a 100% closing rate, but you need to do whatever you can to make those incremental gains to get that percentage up, and up. And by having someone who's already believing in the process, the product, let's just say that gets you that gets you to a 40% closing rate, right? Because they already believe in that. But then if you get them to believe in you, once again, now all of a sudden I can bump you up to a 50, 60, 70% closing rate here. And I'm not saying this just to fluff out numbers. Like, these are real stats that I'm talking about. So I'm telling you, really double down on this stuff because it gives you the win that you're looking for there, right? Let me know if you guys are following along right now. Let me know. Give me comment value, comment whatever, comment something so I know you guys are following. I'm pulling up the comments here to make sure that I'm not missing anything too. I'm seeing the me. Oh, perfect. I'm here. Long term is the way to go. Exactly, right? I love that, Dennis, too, man. This is the difference between millionaires and billionaires. Somebody like and love that comment. Come on now. I'm telling you, it is so crucial. And like I say so much, we're going to get into the execution of it too. Like, so much this stuff can really help you inside your business there. So I'm loving that. I love you guys are following on this side here too. Like I said, hit the like and love button if you guys are getting some value out of this too. I want to keep on pouring it, keep on filling that cup right here of knowledge, honestly. So with that being said, let's keep this party rocking. The next one, number 7, it builds trust. It builds trust, and that kind of ties right into what the number 6 there earlier. But in reality, this builds trust not just like during the sales conversation, but even before. Even as it continues to grow, right? Because a big thing is the long term. I told you as a part of the caption today, if you guys read it, I'm talking about long term, where you can really increase those nurtured leads who convert down to sales down the line there, right? It builds that trust, having that true personal brand. And without it, it's almost like, that's why I say when someone's talking to a business, it feels detached, right? Let's just say you're talking to someone, like to some business messenger inbox. You don't know who you're talking to. And I think a part of that, not to say it scares you, but it's like you feel that there. And the reason I say you feel that is because if you look at the flip side of it, you're talking to a specific individual. You can see their face. And if you can't see their face at the time, you know who they are. You've heard their voice before. This is building the trust so much more there. So why am I saying this? Because I want you to leverage it inside of your business, because these are the hidden gems that are going to increase it, right? It gives you the you and the win, right? So I'm telling you, because once they're sold on you, if they're sold on everything else and they're sold on you, it's a freaking win right there. I'm telling you. So that's a big one right there, folks. Come on now. Another big piece. It's going to allow you to consistently raise your prices. What do I mean by that? You're like, Justice, what the heck do you mean having a good personal brand is going to allow you to increase your prices? Clients are going to pay you more for proximity, right? The more you're able to get in front and really get out there, show your value, make sure that you're top of mind, keeping your brand front and center. We're going to get into ways to show you how you can do this. It's going to allow you to, once again, even at first, before you start raising your prices, like, it's going to first and foremost help you to get those first initial sales, help you gain consistency. And then once you start to gain that predictability there, it allows you to now slowly increase your prices. Slowly increase your prices there. And I'll tell you one thing right now too. The day I started increasing my prices, I started getting better client results because people were more bought in. They have more skin in the game there, right? So it's like it's like I should have made that like an additional to this number 8 here. It's like, in reality, and we talked about winning support structures last live stream there, but in reality, this is going to help you so much to get more committed clients, more committed people who are going to give you better case studies and better testimonials. And if you saw the last week one, the whole thing was about how to get you more testimonials. So in reality, this is a big piece on multiple levels, because then the ladder, of course, is it increases your revenue month to month. It increases your bottom line month to month. It increases your profit month to month. It allows you to scale and do bigger things than you could before. Right? I had to make this list. I still got one more here for you, but I had to make this list for you to show you all the benefits here, because building that personal brand is so crucial right there. So crucial. The last one right here as well. It makes business more fun, right? At the end of the day, it makes business more fun here. I'm telling you right now, I talk to, if you were to ask any of my clients right now, anyone, not even clients, anyone who's talked to me on a Zoom or anything like that, I'm telling you right now, the person you're seeing talking to you right now is the same person you're seeing, maybe not 100% off the camera, because maybe I'm tired, maybe all that stuff. But if you're catching me when I'm talking to people and actually engaged and having a good time, like, this is the real me. And at the end of the day, it allows me to keep this long term. Like, I'm not putting on a facade here. And the more you can lean into that, the better, right? So it's like, honestly, like I said, I think this is a big one here. Like, I should have probably bolded this one. It makes business more fun. More fun you can make business, the longer you can be able to do it and actually withstand the hurdles and the headaches and the road bumps on the way there. All right. So if this is making sense, comment gems down below. Comment gems down below if you guys are following me. I want to make sure that this is hitting home for you guys and you're understanding this before we continue into the exit, right? Into the execute, right? Into the execution phase. Pardon me, in my mind when I was saying execute, I was thinking like executioner, a little like Game of Thrones or something. Someone's getting their head chopped off. Don't mind where my head's going. I told you, we're keeping it real out here. I'm telling you, keep with that personal brand here, right? And even like a little thing too, for anybody who now has ever watched Game of Thrones, like Game of Thrones, it's like just a little something for them to hold on to there, right? Little connection we just had right there all of a sudden. We both watch it. Come on now, let's join in the fun here. So I'm telling you, comment gems down below if you guys are following me. Hit the like and love button. I want to make sure you guys are hitting home on this before we continue diving in here, because like I said, this is all good and dandy, and I'm sure, I hope you've gotten enough value out of this right now. Feel free to comment that as well, but I want to help you guys in showing you specifically where you can really implement this inside your business there. So let me know if you want to go ahead and hear that, because I want to share it with you, to be honest. I don't want to hold all this knowledge to myself. It was meant to be shared, and that's why we're here on our Wednesday live stream. So let me see where those gems are at. I'm going to go ahead and pull this down too. Let me see. Like I said, comment gems. I see Stuart over here commenting gems. Is it just Stuart? If it's just Stuart, man, I can go ahead and just, me and him can go ahead. I'll give him a little private Zoom. We can dive deep. Come on now. If you guys aren't getting much here, I'm cool with that. Oh, I'm seeing. Oh, look at that. Edgar, my man, dropping the emojis. Come on now. I love it here. I love it. Let me know who else is with you over there, because I want to get right into this as well here. So let me know. Let me see one more gem out there, and we'll dive right into it here. I'm telling you guys, this stuff is so critical in your business for all of these reasons right here. All of these reasons right here, because when you start to dial this stuff in, it truly takes you to the next level, and it truly allows you, like I said, to go long term, allows you to go deep, allows you to have excitement. When you're having fun, like, you want to learn more. You want to learn how you can grow and expand and really take things to the next level there. So that's why I want to make sure that we harp on this here. So I'm seeing more and more gems. All right, now you guys have convinced me. All right, now you guys have convinced me here. Perfect. Let's go ahead and keep this party moving on this side. So with that being said here, let's see if it'll go here. On the next here. Execution, right? Execution. What do I mean by this here now, right? I want to really break into what it looks like to go ahead and give you some practical knowledge on the execution side, right? Let's go ahead and get straight into it on this side here. Number one, it looks like I'm clicking all over the place. Number one, I'm going back from comments to slideshow. You guys keep my hands full here. I like it. So number one, content. How can you go ahead and execute this in your content? Like I said, I'm not just trying to give you straight theory. I want to give you the real stuff here, right? So number one, a great place to go ahead and even put this inside is your content. And now what do I mean by that? Content being one obvious place, at least it's an obvious place to me, is your images and your videos, right? Images and videos. And even if you want, like, even if you're not big into videos, because a lot of times I tell people, like, you don't need to do videos in your online business for a long time. Like, for me, it wasn't until I hit my first 15K month, honestly, that I even did my first like actual live stream or anything like that, right? So don't feel like you have to be doing videos when you're sitting at $0 a month or 5K a month or whatever the case is, right? It's not gonna hurt you. If you want to and you think you got the energy or whatever, go all in. I think it's awesome. But let's just talk images to keep us all on the same page for a second here. So with your images, one piece that's going to help you, and let me get to this before I even say that piece. Let's just talk specifics. Images that include your hobbies, your location, your family, just pieces that are going to show anything that allows people to relate to you. Just like I dropped a little Game of Thrones reference, right? Now all of a sudden, anyone who's watched that show, it's just a little bit more closer to me, right? Just a little bit more closer. Maybe it's like I sometimes see, I don't know why this is popping in my mind as the first thing. I'm clearly on the fly right now. But I saw a little image of somebody who's like trying to do a Rubik's Cube. And it's like, I remember, I don't think I can do a Rubik's Cube anymore. I'm almost certain I can't. But like back in college, I used to love doing the Rubik's Cube, honestly, and just kind of figuring that thing out. So it's like, that just kind of, once again, just brings me to that and ties me to that person just a little more. Like I said, doesn't make someone your best bud at the end of the day, but just a little bits, little doses, little shots to get you close to there, right? So start thinking of that when you're posting your images, when you're doing videos in different locations, right? It's like, these are things you want to keep in mind there as well. When I was on vacation, like 2-3 weeks ago, I was on the beach, right? And I love the beach. So it's like, now it's just getting me closer to people who also like the beach, right? It's like, they're seeing where I'm at. They see that that's what I love to do. I took my family there with me. It's like, these are big pieces that can allow you to tie that much more to your audience, and it can help you down the line. All right. And one little small pro tip, like I said, I wasn't even really gonna plan on telling you guys this, but one small pro tip that I want to implore you to this side as well is use high quality as much as possible. Right? The reason I say that is because at the end of the day, the higher quality you have, like when I say higher quality, you can have, I can't even find my phone right now, but there we go, there it is. A phone, right? An iPhone takes great images. I'm not saying you need like to have a crazy photographer type phone, but have high quality to some degree in what you do, and it's going to make it that much clearer, that much easier for this effect to come possible. Because I've seen people do this, exactly what I'm saying, using this for their content when it comes to their images and their video, but their quality is just really poor. And now it's like you're trying to get it across, and there can be and once again, it's like, maybe your brand is like the whole I don't care type of style that can help you, but I'm telling you, if you have a higher quality, it comes off a bit more professional, and it's going to, once again, just help you long term there. So that's one big piece on the content side. All right, let me know, comment content if you guys are following me already here. I got a couple more on the content side too to help you out. Like I said, we're getting straight to the practical today, no fluff, right? So comment content if you guys are getting some value to this content piece. The next piece right there, language there as well. I think I saw my man James Black is on here. He speaks Spanish, right? I would have never thought he speaks Spanish too, so this man is awesome, right? But it's like, and I say that as one, we have another client, we have a couple other clients, I won't keep name dropping for now, but really, if you're able to speak a different language, like even for me, like this is something that maybe feels, once again, a bit like duh, a bit like obvious, but I speak English. Like, if I'm being blunt, it's the only language that I speak, right? So at the end of the day though, it does tie me a bit closer to somebody who speaks English. Like, let's not ignore that fact. So I say this because if you happen to be bilingual, if you happen to speak multiple languages, I've seen clients of mine use that as a way to have a strong piece of their offer where it's showing and it's leveraging that, how they're bilingual and how they can go ahead and now help their prospects in a way that I literally could not do, right? So once again, by showing that, don't hide that, right? I see so many people where they're bilingual and they don't want to ever like share a little bit of that to their audience. You could honestly be losing money by doing that there, because maybe you have that middle ground that can get them to where they want to get to, right? Really get over one of those difficult bridges that has been really slowing them down on that side there, right? So your language, like your literal language, can help you inside of your content if you show it there, show little pieces there as well, right? Another piece that's really tied to the language, I use a little slang with this is what I'm going to say it, but your lingo, right? At the end of the day, your lingo, the way that you talk. I mean, I think I'm pretty laid back the way that I talk, but at the end of the day, like that's to some degree intentional, but also to some degree the way that I talk at the end of the day there. Like, and I say this also, like, let's just say even in written form, you know, like a lot of times in my posts, my content, I'll say what's up. You know, it's like, I'll say chat soon. I'll say little things like that because it allows people to realize, one, I'm a real person. Two, it just shows my personality that much more, right? The more you can kind of get that out there, the better. It's like I was working with a copywriting coach for like 3 months, and I remember at the time he had told me, I've told this to a lot of my clients before, he told me the point you want to get to, it's even like for video, this isn't as on point because at the end of the day, it's very obvious. Let's just say you write a written piece of content with no image, or at least no image showing yourself. they should be able to tell, the reader should be able to tell that that's your post without even seeing your name attached to it, right? If you can get to that point, think of, once again, the trust, the following, the way that you're building your tribe out. These are the things that are going to help you that much more, because think about the content as being one of the earlier parts in the sales process, which is why we kind of called our supreme content messaging there, because it leads up to the simplified conversion formula, right? So really understanding how you can leverage that, it's going to, like I said, just continually increase that percentage there, right? Continually increase that percentage. So that's a big piece too. And as well too, like your lingo, like I said, you can kind of maybe tell my lingo a little bit just because of how I'm talking right now. But at the end of the day, there's plenty of others. Like, a lot of people are not like me, obviously. So in reality, a lot of people are more blunt, right? A lot of people are more fun, right? A lot more fun. They joke a lot. They can really, I'm not that funny, to be honest with you. I'm funny, but like in a weird way. Like, so I'm not funny like that. So at the end of the day, it's like, you can bring that out, more fun. A lot of people curse a lot, right? It's like, maybe if you're the kind of person who's just dropping swears left and right, I'm not exactly that type of person, but at the end of the day, a lot of people, that kind of goes hand in hand with that bluntness. Like, maybe a lot of people like that, right? It's like, at the end of the day, I remember one of the first times I swore on a Zoom call, and my client's like, whoa, I've never seen that before or heard that from you. So really, like I said, let these things out, because at the end of the day, you want to stay true to that throughout, right? And it's going to make it easier for you to sustain this over and over again. And one of the last piece here on the content side is your opinion, right? Kind of, once again, it goes all in all with this. Your opinion, you can think of it as your opinion on politics, your opinion on religion. I personally like to steer clear of that, if I'm being honest. But at the end of the day, it can be your opinion also on different areas of business, different ways that you perceive things, how you view it. And then once again, it's going to help to gravitate. I always say to my clients all the time, if you're selling to everyone, you're selling to no one. If you're talking to everyone at the same time, you're talking to no one, right? So dial in and get very clear on that side. And all of that comes back to the content, all right? So comment content if this is making some sense right now and you guys getting value and understanding how you can get, having a better picture right now of how you can implement this inside your business there. Comment content. I really want to make sure that we're all on the same page here as well. Let me go ahead and see this here too. I'm seeing, there we go. I'm seeing content. I'm seeing this here as well. Great question too. I'm going to break my rule here for a second. Just read this question quickly. If I'm aiming to the U.S. market, but don't mind Spanish-speaking people to also engage with me, what do you suggest? All right, you know what? Maybe I will go back to that because I don't want to dive too deep, but that's a great question. I'm going to go ahead and save this question for after. Let me go ahead and throw this out here too. I'll put this on this side here. Drop a little note so I don't forget. For some reason, sometimes it gets rid of my questions when I'm doing that. So let me go ahead and bring this slideshow back up here. Let's see if I can find it, right? All right, there we go. So yes, we got the content side. Perfect. I'm seeing the content go running through. Perfect. Hit that like and love. Like I said, if you guys are getting value, guys, I'd love to see it here. So now with that being said, we got the content super clear. Next piece, sales conversations edge, right? How to give yourself that edge in a sales conversation through your personal brand. All right, I want to really get into this as well here, because at the end of the day, I believe that sales is one of the most important parts of your whole entire business. But it's like, at the end of the day, even like as I say that, it's like literally so many pieces are so important, from the offer to the content to the sales, right, to your audience building. All these are important, but a lot of the times it's like, if you can't finish the deal, you can't close the deal. It's like, what's it all worth, right? So at the same time, you could say, well, if you don't have any audience, then you're never gonna be able to close a deal because you got no one to talk to. But we're not gonna go into that revolving circle right now. Let's focus on why this is gonna help you inside of your why personal branding is gonna help you inside of your sales conversations. Number one, personality. I've already kind of spoke on this a little bit with your content, but when I say this, think about it inside of your actual conversations. If your personality comes out that way, and once again, this is why it's so important to make sure that you're in sync from the starting point to the ending point. What do I mean by the starting point? When you're growing your audience, as they're seeing your content, as you're getting into sales conversations, right? Think of those three main points to get to the sales conversation. You have now attracted somebody who's now that much more in tune and in sync with you because of your branding. Now, don't switch it up right then at the sales conversation, which is why I say it's important to be your authentic self, because it's gonna make it easier to be that same person, right? So with that being said, your personality can play a huge role, because it allows you to have that continuation, and now it's like they're actually talking to the person that they've been already bonding with, basically through content and through other pillars there inside of your business, right? So that is giving you an edge if you allow that to go all the way through. Another piece too is like, once again, if you're able to crack some jokes and pieces like that, this is a huge tip as well here. It's like, at the end of the day, a great way to go ahead and get into a sales conversation. Once again, little pro tip. I wasn't even planning on saying this, but a little pro tip to help you out. Throwing a little joke out there. And it doesn't have to be a joke. Once again, I'm not funny. I'm not funny at the end of the day. But it's like, I can say something that can sometimes get a chuckle, get a smile. If I can at least get that, and it's like, if I can't get that, don't think that like the sale is gone type of thing. Like, it's not comedy hour in order to make a sale, right? But at the end of the day, if you can get somebody to smile, just ease and cut some of that sales tension, ease some of that resistance there, it's going to make your life so much easier when it comes to actually getting through to the prospect, actually getting that offer out there and being successful, right? So really think about that side as well. Different similarities as well too. Like I said, you're gonna be able to have these similarities as well too with your personal brand. Even think about that as far as location. Anytime I talk to somebody who's from Massachusetts, that's where I'm at right now in Massachusetts, or even the East Coast, even just the US in general, that's a similarity there, and they now know this because of my branding, right? Plenty of times I'll get in the call and they'll say, oh yeah, I saw you from Massachusetts, right? It's like, hey, do you like clam chowder, New England clam chowder out there? I've never really been out there, right? It's like, all of a sudden you start having a conversation, and now this is it's naturally easing the tension for you. I didn't have to even crack a joke. They're over here setting me up, right? Set me up in the best way, because the branding has now led to this point in the conversation, right? And a big thing as well with this is that authenticity. Keeping the authenticity. That's why I'm trying to really get you to think about that when it comes to being yourself, being you, because it's going to allow you to stay true as you continue to go. And I'm telling you, the more, if you get to that sales conversation, get to these points where you're really speaking one-to-one with the prospect, they can feel when you're not being yourself. I'm telling you right now, they can feel. We all can feel the fakeness when people are doing that, right? It's like, at the end of the day, you got to make sure you're staying true to yourself, because it's going to be so easily detectable by leads when you're getting to them, and when you're ready to kind of, like I said, you're at that point where you're ready to strike a deal, ready to make an offer. But it's like right before that, imagine if just like you're coming off not authentic, they feel it every time now, right? And the cost of not being authentic, it's deadly. It's deadly, especially deadly depending on the lead flow. Imagine if you're getting into these conversations, you're not being authentic, it's losing you good calls, losing you good sales, losing you good leads, and just letting them drop and slip through the cracks. That could be costing you thousands of dollars. Could be costing you, honestly, $1 million. Like in the grand scheme of things, if you have enough lead flow coming into your business, right? It could be costing you hundreds of dollars if that's all you're looking for right now to get your business up and running, right? So really start thinking about how all these pieces here can come into hand, the authenticity, all these pieces there as well, right? So comment convo if you guys are feeling me and really understand the convo side too. And let me know if you have questions on this as well. I'm happy to dive a bit deeper to really give you that clarity as well there too. But the convo side is big on that part as well there, right? So really, and I'll take a quick look, make sure I don't see any big things popping up there. Good. So you guys are all still on the same page as me. I love it. So with that being said, consistently showing up, right? Consistently showing up. This is another big piece as well. Like, honestly, for me, when I say this was huge for me starting out. And the reason I say this is because it gives you a major edge over the competition. What do I mean by that? There's a reason I tell people all the time, like, just stay consistent with your posting. Because if you do that, it is literally putting you above like 80% of the competition. 80% of the competition. Like, talk about giving yourself a stronger foundation to stand on if you're already doing that. And what do I mean by that really at the end of the day? So many people are having a tough time just showing up and really getting themselves out there by really staying consistent with posting, staying consistent with putting videos out if they're on YouTube, right? Like, just staying consistent with putting videos out, staying consistent with your stories on Facebook, Instagram, wherever it may be, your videos on TikTok, your reels, whatever it is on that side, right? Really staying consistent there, especially like, even I always say too, is like for your Facebook stories, you should try and have like at least one up there within every 24 hours. You want to always be in people's faces. I say this all the time. People forget quickly. People forget very quickly, right? You need to make sure you're reminding everyone who you are, what you do, how you help them. Get your brand in front of people over and over again. This consistency honestly creates long-term buyers. And that's what you're looking for. I'm telling you right now, the majority of your buyers, at most I would say like 50% of your buyers are going to be people who have just found out about you. But the other 50, chances are even more than the other 50, like maybe 60, 70, 80, are people who you're going to be following up with. People who down the line are going to be, once again, you're building that trust with and continue to grow with there. I'm telling you, such a big piece on that side there, all right? And really on the execution side, like I said, make sure you remain true to who you are and yourself. Because one, this is just going to really, it makes your life and business much easier. But at the end of the day, you want to make sure that you do this before and after the sale on that side, right? Because when you do that, it's going to really increase those LTVs, all right? What are those LTVs? What do I mean by LTVs? That long-term value of a lead, of a buyer, of a customer. This is where so many people drop the ball. They stay looking for new people. When they've already had sales and they're just not even thinking. They're saying, okay, I've already made that sale. I just had a call with the client earlier today, honestly, and we were kind of talking about how that was there was multiple bottlenecks, to be honest, in his business, but one of the bottlenecks was that every time it ended, he is running a 90-day coaching program. Every time that 90 days was up, he was just losing everyone that's just the way that his program was designed. It worked so well, it got to them. So it's like now, once again, realize that you can really develop some systems to see how it can help you. But once you realize this stuff, it's going to allow you to truly increase, like I said, this lifetime value, because you're able to really design your business in a way that holds on to those customers for the long term there. And once again, increase your DPL, your dollar per lead, increase what you're getting, increasing, really, to put it short and simple, increasing how much lemon how much lemonade you're getting out of that lemon, right? How much you can squeeze out of there and really get it going there. So big on that side there, honestly. And really beyond that too, that's even, like I said, the whole remaining true to yourself. Like I'm telling you right now, like I mentioned before, my students will tell you the same personality that I have right now is the same I keep with them. Because at the end of the day, you got to keep that transparency from the front to the back. And right, just like I'm leading up in here too, it improves your back end success rate, right? And even like one like a little example of how this is even true, honestly, is because it allows you to even create more of those grand offers, those grand slam offers there, like those big time offers. Like we kind of preach these bestseller offers, right? It's like it allows it that much more. Like I'm gonna give you one example like this, right? People understand my brand. Like I told you, I'm from Massachusetts. A lot of people, when you're Massachusetts, maybe the first place they think of is Boston. And maybe when you think of Boston, you start to think of Red Sox, Patriots, all this type of stuff. It's like, imagine if part of your back end offer, right? I mean, let's just assume your front end offer is anywhere from $500 to $5,000. Your back end offer is anywhere from, let's just say, $5,000 to $50,000, right? If you're getting paid that on the back end, it allows you to do some really cool stuff with the people you're going to be joining forces with. What's one big example of that is really congruent with my personal brand? What if I was to take somebody, I said, hey, you jump my back-end program, we're going to go ahead, I'm going to fly you out here, we're going to go to a Red Sox game, we'll grab a drink, and we'll spend the whole next day deep diving into your business and really making everything stand out for you. How's that sound, right? I'll buy the ticket, we'll choose a date that works for you. I got access to the games over here, so we can make it happen, right? I got a great hotel you can stay at, blah, blah, blah. Great Airbnb we can crash at, whatever the case is, right? It's like, if people gel with you that much more as a person, and you've been able to get them results, right? It's like, once again, like I was saying before, if they believe in the process, if they believe in the product, right? And they believe in you, that's where the money is made. I'm telling you right now, that is where it can, and not even that's where the money is made, because so many businesses are made without a personal brand, right? But even though their branding is strong though, so like that, to their credit, that is still there. But really, when you start to add that, it can set you so much further, especially, like I said, sorry to scream at you there, but I feel it, sorry. At the end of the day, like I said, when I was first starting off, leaning into this stuff was big for me. It was really big for me. Like I mentioned to you guys plenty of times, like I went from having my first 2K month and jumped quickly to my first 15K month the following month there. Like this comes from really doubling down on this stuff as well. Obviously comes with attaching high income skills to it, having a good process, but you need this stuff here to really make your life that much easier, all right? I hope this is making sense right there too. Like I said, comment, execute, comment, whatever. I'm hoping this is hitting home for you guys and you're really understanding what I'm giving you here on this execute side. I want to make sure I open up to some Q&A because once again, I saw some questions roll through. I want to make sure we get you guys taken care of. But like I said, this stuff is so critical in your business right here. So like I said, comment value, comment anything. Let me make sure that you guys are really, this is hitting home for you guys, because I truly want to make sure that you're going ahead and executing this in your business too. And I saw, like I said, let me see this here too. Oh, good. So I see Mauricio's question. We'll pull that up. And before we really dive into that question as well, I want to make sure also, like I said, I got an invitation for you. Let's go ahead and make sure that I give that out there so you guys aren't thinking I forgot about you on that side. We can dive right into the Q&A there. So let's call a little timeout really for this week. Literally not even this week. The last Wednesday of the month during this regularly scheduled live stream. Like I said, we've been doing this live stream every single Wednesday, like through 2022 and beyond. We've been doing this, right? I'm going to be hosting a live masterclass in replace of it, all right? So this live here will not be happening next week. Week after, don't worry, we'll be getting right into our regularly scheduled programming again. But it's all about how last month we literally had a 53K month. And I want to work with an intimate crowd, honestly, breaking down exactly what we did to make that happen. Everything we did behind the scenes to make that a reality there. Really showing you everything on that side. So really, if you're a coach, an info marketer, a service provider, an affiliate marketer, especially on the higher ticket side, and you honestly want to take a look behind the curtains and see inside of my business in order to duplicate it on your end, I want to show you exactly what we got here from the core components of honestly our entire client acquisition structure, our overall flow and process, all of the content, right? The reasons why we made it, understanding how you can go ahead and really see the nuances so you can implement into your business. The conversations, like literally the word for word conversations, giving you access to recordings so you can literally see how we turn a cold audience member to a sale, the offer and the specificity behind it that we use and really made it to be that much more unique and create a great experience for our clients coming in, and all the other good stuff behind that there. So if you guys want access to that too and want to join us, like I said, this is one of the, I rarely have anything that is in the three figure range there. So definitely something to take a look at. Comment masterclass if you want to take a look. I'll make sure myself or one of our group specialists here gets that into your hands. I want to make sure, and also too, shout out Victor Parrott for being the first one to jump in. He jumped in earlier on Monday. He was the very first person to jump in with us here. I'm pumped to really break, like I said, show him everything we did for that. And like I said, this is gonna be a one-time thing here. I want to make this a really intimate crowd there. So like I said, we'll reach over, pass over the specifics your way. Like I said, I'll be offering this kind of discounted price basically for the first few folks who jump in. And then after that, it's gonna be literally tripled, honestly. Tripled and then some. I think we did the math. It's like 3.33 the price is going up for. So let your mind take it where you want to on that side. But that's what we're working with. Honestly, for myself here, running a business on Facebook has by far been the best decision I made. But honestly, understanding how to really just build around Facebook. It's one thing to have a business on it, but to build around it, that's what's going to change everything for your business there. So like I said, comment masterclass below. We'll get over the specifics to you, and I'm looking forward to jumping in there with you. But with that being said, let me go ahead and get rid of this here. Let me throw myself back up front and center here, and let's see what you guys got. I saw Mauricio's question, so I want to go ahead and make sure I get you guys covered on this side. So let me take a look here. Go over on this end. All right, so I can see there as well. So you got Mauricio. The question you had for us was, if I'm aiming to the U.S. market, but don't mind speaking to people, if I'm aiming to the U.S. market, it's like, I wish I could share my screen so you guys can see this. Actually, I think I got the notes that I accidentally pulled up earlier anyways. Maybe I'll do that. Let me pull this up here briefly. Okay, so we mentioned here, excuse me. All right, let me share my screen on this side one more time. And let me know if you guys have any other questions, throw them over. Like I said, I'm happy to stick around for a few minutes and answer whatever you got on this side here, right? So with that being said, question was, if I'm aiming to the U.S. market, and hopefully this is blown up enough for you guys here. Let's blow this sucker up a lot. All right, so if I'm aiming to the U.S. market, but don't mind Spanish-speaking people to also engage with me, what do you suggest doing to let everybody know that I also speak Spanish? I believe that my main man, James Black over here, gave you a little tip here. So honestly, James mentioned, be sure to post on your cover photo on your profile. Then you have to reach out to the Spanish-speaking community also to see more posts. I think that's a great idea, honestly. That's exactly right. I've done some lives around the difference between branding and content. And one of the big things, honestly, with the branding is kind of like, what do people first see when they get brought into your world? And so it would be nice if that is something that you really feel like you can leverage in your business, if you could at least have that dabbled somewhere. It doesn't have to be like the forefront of your branding. Like I said, it's like, picture this. When you land on someone's YouTube page, you land on someone's TikTok profile, you land on someone's main social media presence, what jumps out to you, right? There's probably gonna be a few things, right? Maybe like on YouTube, their thumbnails, what their cover says, maybe like the main tagline they have, and like maybe one or two other things. Out of those 4, 5, 6 things I just mentioned, I would go ahead and really say something there that really implies that you can speak to the Spanish community, and honestly that it's just going to help tie to them that much faster. And I always say this to my students as well. I think I said this to you earlier, Mauricio, in another conversation. Best to test, right? Always best to test. It's like, at least try that out for like, let's say a month to 3 months and see how it goes. See if anybody actually gravitate towards it, and then you know it's actually working. And then you can double down on that much more there. So hopefully that helps on that side there. I'm giving a little answer on that question. Great question, by the way, too. I'm glad to see you throw that out there. I appreciate it there. And like I said, if you guys got some value from today's live stream, like I said, please comment value, hit the like and love button. I appreciate you guys sticking around here. It's been a fun one for me, honestly. Let me take a look here and see too any others. I love the value I'm seeing there as well. Not just that, but let me see. Okay, perfect. I was gonna say not just that, but even if the sale doesn't happen, but one stick with you until you get the sale. That's what matters, is your follow through, right? Exactly there, man. I think I'm just seeing that, but you dropped that before, but that's a great point right there. Exactly, right? It's like I said, it's bigger than just getting the sale now, because statistically, the chance of getting a sale from turning a cold lead into a buyer tomorrow, I'm telling you right now, we've done it. Like, I'm not going to lie to you and say we haven't done it. We've done it multiple times, to be honest with you, but I'm not banking around that. I'm not building my business around that. So I love that mentality there, Dennis. That's awesome there, man. But no, great. Hey, like I said, Mauricio, good. I'm glad you got some value out of that. I love it. Excellent. My pleasure, man. My pleasure there completely. Now, let me know if you guys got anything else. Otherwise, we'll go ahead and cut this one short here. I say cut this short. I guess this has been we're almost rounding an hour here. So I think it's about time to go ahead and cut this party short here. Or cut this party off at the very least. Really, like I said, great stuff here, guys. I hope this hits home. And I hope, first and foremost, you take this and implement. Really powerful stuff. The sooner you start this in your business, it's gonna make it that much easier for you. I feel like I'm looking at myself and I'm lagging for some reason. if I am, maybe that's a reason for Facebook's telling me get the heck out of here. So with that being said, I don't see any more questions. I'll see you later for now. Keep up the great work, and I'll see you next Wednesday. At least I hope to. Come on.
Hey, thanks for watching this video all the way through. Make sure you go ahead and like this if you got a ton of value from, which I hope you did. Subscribe to the channel, and absolutely go ahead and join us in our original chapters community. Links right down there in the description. And as always, you are designed to become who you choose to be. I'll see you later.